Bun găsit la noi episod, ce mai face? Bun găsit la un nou live. Ce mai face? Salutare a toată lumea de pe live. Stai un pic, simți puțin volum, mai dăm puțin mai încet, așa. Ce mai faceți? Salutare la toți care intră pe live. Nu uitați de butonul de like și abonare dacă sunteți noi. Astăzi hai să începem live-ul. Hai să dau pe scena care o să ne uităm. Hai să începem. Stai un pic că trebuie să închid, că nu merge altfel. Hai, lasă. Hai, câte-o puțin. Acum. Așa. Trebuie să mai conectez ceva, nu? Trebuie să mai conectez ceva, dar imediat intrăm. Ok? Dacă bună la tot cine intră pe live, bună. Eu văd pe ceea ce scrieți voi că am telefonul la mine. Nu faceți griji că pot să scriu și pe asta. Deci, ne trebuie... Intrăm imediat, luăm asta. Așa. Nu. Așa. Că trebuie să vedem și like-urile acolo. Așa. Și acolo. Imediat îmi pun camera. Adică să-mi fac asta. Să-mi fac asta. Gata, m-am întors, gata. Hai să începem. Hai să intrăm aici. În 3 minute vine. Stăm pe spate. Să vedem ce stăm pe spate. Așa. Ezităm. Mai vorbim pe aici să vedem ce mai zice.
Go on, just do what you
Scena trebuie să punem.
as I bleed for you, cry for you. Oh, oh. Let me bleed as I bleed for you, cry for you. Oh, oh. Let me bleed. Let me
Stai un pic să închid asta. Până am montez toate setările, o să intru acum.
don't care, no, you don't care, no. You just rather watch me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all.
Gata, acum putem vedea. Să vedem. Nouă. Wow, wow. Ce bucătărie au, bă. Au bucătării. Ce? Mai bun ce fac ăștia. Ce fac? Așa. E faină. Revin imediat, eu plec puțin. Am revenit.
You only took a single cent.
Ceea. Asta, da. Asta, da, băieții. Echipele astea trebuie să... Cine cred că o să câștige? Stai pe punem la română. Mamă, câștigă astea sau nu? Eu am votat roșu, de ce ați votat? De ce? Ce-ați votat? Ia, dacă câștigă, echipa pe Antan și de... Hai, sper să câștige. O venit, este dacă câștigă, că mă arunc pe geam. Câștigăm sau nu? Nu, câștigăm. Final. Înțeleg.
Jason and our suite, a great squad over in the China region. One of the two representatives left to be competing
fotbal. Asta da, fotbal, e perfect. Unde să stăm așa comod? Că fotbal, rupe. Să avem și Frozen. Să arată Frozen.
Every time it was a band, we saw it pretty much from any band or game mode. So I like that band for sure. Man, also a really
și voină. Mam, bani. Asta, mamă. Să vedem dacă reușește. Se banează alea două. Mamă mia. Dacă sunteți noi, abonați-vă, dați un buton de like acolo și salutare toate. Asta. Cât este, mai dau mai încet asta și ia să vedem. Vedem dacă reușește. Asta primul meci, haide. Da, m-am uitat de aici.
With two of their best modes, Brawl and Hustle respectively, but then later on, it goes down a little bit. The modes were a little bit weaker, and on the other hand,
Mamă mare.
a bit more intelligent.
Să vedem dacă sunt buni de tine. Dați butonul de like dacă sunteți noi sau pe abonare și dacă sunteți așa, dacă sunt bine oameni.
sure if we lose some of those modes, at least they know that those were not the most likely to be won by them anyway. But anything they can take early on is going to be so valuable.
Absolutely. That's the key. Get there soon, get there fast. Because you don't know what you're going to be guaranteed later. Thank you. Spoiler alert. There ain't guaranteed anything. So, as far as our predictions
Да.
are concerned, we are both going to
Да, да,
that
да.
apply so that we look good.
Я знаю, да, пару пройдет.
I think so too. You know, I think that the aggressiveness that we've seen from them this year, the confidence they've been gaining, and the experience they got from competing this entire year, I think it's so valuable and it's the extra edge. But you never know, you might be able to surprise them. They're definitely hoping that they can perform at their highest and give us more advantage.
Yeah, that at the end of the day is we put our predictions there, but the only thing I root for is a good Brawl star game.
Я видел.
Reaching into this,
Да.
not a bad. I think that was the most fun aspect of the year outside of that was the idea that, I mean, hey, we didn't have a trophy.
It certainly did magically reappear yesterday. Actually, I was literally casting, and then I turned around and you told me there. Yeah, very, very fortunate, honestly.
Yeah, imagine if we didn't have the trophy to give the players this year.
I mean, I wasn't sure how I was supposed to address this in the first place. I was just like, why is there no trophy? And I remembered, yeah, it's gone.
Well, you know, I mean, there is something else that they would get instead of trophy.
Ну,
$400,000 for first place. So you know what? If you couldn't give me a trophy, but you gave me $400,000, I might be okay with that.
I think that is a sacrifice they are willing to make. But now we got the trophy and the money and the glory and the bragging rights. Everything is on the line here for the world finals. We should be getting into our match soon. And now for the quick look at our prize trophy for that, we start off with 10K from 9 to 16th place. Top 5 till top 8, that's 40K.
în total.
And fourth place, that is $80,000, $200,000 for second place, and much earlier, $400,000 for first place. That's $1 million. That's life-changing money.
Oh, yeah, and that's all because of you guys out there in chat land. You know, this was a smaller place than that. It was $500,000 on the top 9, and there are a lot of stuff going on in the game that you guys supported and brought us to this point. It wasn't for you guys. This type of money wouldn't be out there. So, I mean, in case anybody hasn't said it, thank you.
Да, thank you, да. Thank you, да.
Straight up and down.
We all do.
Absolutely. You guys have already got involved in that end. You see, so the players are getting really excited. So you can get involved on the current
Mom.
event.brawlstars.com. We have so many points to cover. One, predictions that are out there.
Mundial. Abonat нет. Да, да.
There's even a button to spam.
Yeah, I like that.
On the internet.
Yeah, absolutely so, absolutely so. And
Maybe it's
that
very
is
nice.
as well to be collected. And overall, I mean, I love the predictions. Everyone knows that.
No, boy,
it's
yeah.
easy to compare them with others and have something on the
Такой
line. I
больной.
mean, that's as much as I could ask for, and we got even more than that.
Yeah, you saw us flashing up the
Ladies смотрят. Если.
We've spoken a lot about these guys for good reason, but I want to put the spotlight on GRG Origin, Jason, Archie, and Russia. These players, you know, like you said, the only remaining teams that made it in China, one of the strongest teams in that region. They looked it over the regular season.
Yeah, they certainly did. You know, I said it earlier. When you're sharing a region with nobody sports, you're not going to be sharing that much. You know, they don't have a single monthly final win in their belt, but on the other hand, really something either. So to that extent, we have a pretty strong match. And I mentioned earlier that it's looking down at the
Опа, антипоты.
look at that aggression, Mario, always scoring from the get-go. But CIG are able to defuse this situation and prevent that
Здесь
predator
вот
goal.
что-то, да.
I mean, that's kind of like the extent of the team, right?
Haide, bă. Ia stai, să le punem asta, ia, Nu. Așa câștigă, ia. Are o să dacă câștigați și sunteți cel mai tare de aici. Așa, Așa. Bine, bă! Bine, mă! Bine, bă! Mamă! Nebun! Ce aproape era! Înțelegi? Ce zic? E aproape, bă! Și acum mă dimide. Out. Au. Dacă îl bat ăia, ai de capul nostru. De capul lor. Nu așa se califică. Vine. Dacă se califică, vine. Articlețe, ăsta de făcut. Înțeleg. Iată. Dacă îl bate. Bine, gol, bine! Este echipa asta, e bună, mă, este. Bine, mă, bine. Atât trebuia să iau în mâini.
Yeah, a bit of confusion and panic, perhaps, but I think it's really interesting about that matchup is we have the B map coming from CIG, so sort of read them like a book. Then you bad beat because you're going to be playing some of those tanks, because beat usually launches those tanks. So the goal here was to find other alternatives to try to deal with those tanker brawlers, and they were spot on. There was that Rosa on CIG, Soda brought in an great at just melting down those tanks. And they find a lot of value over there. Look at that now. 4 kills. That's a little bit lower than Jason, but in the end, the value was there, and he was able to make the difference in this matchup.
Acum să vin rezultatele.
That was their whole plan. They're like, listen, we're going to go fast. We read the tank thing, and we want to go fast.
Câștigat să vin. Dacă facem 10 rai corect, sunt cu 10. Hai să mai multe. Al doilea meci, hai să vedem cum spre cec. Dacă primul meci a ieșit bine, al doilea meci. Vai de capul meu! Trebuie toate șansele, bă! Ce-au făcut, bă! Slavilor, bă! Sunteți slabi! Nu te cărăgi! Că slab sunt mai alții. Ești nebun. Mamă, ce slab sunt. Trebuie să câștige următorul meci. Sau sunt pierduți. E slab asta, ce să zic, vrei să iei Brawl ăștia.
Yeah.
Dacă mă joc cu aia,
I mean, it was a 35-second game. Well, it's Jackie. You have to be super up close, and you get melted down before it, and there's not that much you can do. It's not like you can, shoot from afar or get some of that poke damage. So, I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Honestly, I did like the idea of going poke with the whole tank like this. I think it's also just a very confident move. It was a punish, for sure.
Stiga pentru echipare.
Mamă. Really trying to find its way onto Jason, but it's not going to be happening. We have a matchup as well. Bit is where the difference is. It's Max versus Byron, and so far it seems like the situation very much under control. Let's be really careful not to do it because they can be so gonna fall once more. Is able to corner up the ball with shooting a little bit more space for reply totem to defend.
Like the idea are real classic style where you win a fight, move up. Win a fight, move up. Bring the ball with you to score. Look at this. They win a fight, they move up. Just like that, TIG Origin moves up to the next step.
Nu o să câștigăm niciun.
Put it in the pocket.
First goal, sorry, there is still another goal to be potentially made here, and a chance for Totem to cash out. Jason once more finds his sweet goal to score the press. All eyes are on him. This is his time to shine. He could make it happen here. Maro pushing forward.
Bine, hai. Dă și al doilea gol și ne-am scos. O să dăm asta după oamă.
Alright, well, a bit of a push forward might help here. But if doesn't try to win that lane, he's not playing curveball, which I think is an interesting decision. On the other hand, Sasha is not playing curveball, so sort of like that. I mean, sometimes it can be a little bit more predictable. Hit your shots and line them up. There's some nice lineups and angles, but it makes it a little easier to dodge. And, well, RC low HP push up forward. It's a 3 versus 2, but HP-wise it's very weak here for TIG. Another kill comes through. This is the chance for Totem to take the first set. And they are taking it through. Totem have made it. They took the first set. Despite actually TIG getting the first goal in that game. What a way to do so. They kept their cool, kept their calm, and were able to provide everything they needed here.
Asta, da, băține. Susținere blană. Deci, tic original LUAM. Acrobații-mea. Ești nebun. Era crow. Dacă alegem crow, creșteam. Da, dacă creșteam.
This is actually Totem's second best mode right after Brawl. What I'm a little bit curious about is that I thought that Totem struggled quite a bit in Brawl.
Mai durează ce mult. Trebuie să mai... Ozon. Ia să vedem dacă câștigă. Mania. Crow era. Crow era. Mascota este Crow.
Yeah, I think at the end of that first game, first game, this first set, this is where I started thinking, okay, Totem are starting to feel like really getting their confidence because we have some 1-2 situations that they want and support
Bak
at.
işte
Doing that on stage, you have to be able to control your stress incredibly well. And I mean, you know, they're riding off a little bit of momentum now. They were especially able to save that percent. That would have been a disaster for them, losing their best game mode early on. It's their best chance to get an advantage. They did so. Now the question is, can they capitalize? Can they just roll on that momentum?
And see, that's the thing.
ja. Înțeleg, nu știu.
Harder than should have been spoken to the fight. Absolutely. And when you have to work for something that the whole ring momentum thing, I think you're like,
Mamma mia.
I'm a little closer than it should have been. But,
Set number one, just right out of the box. Again, reminder, coaches are live in comms. So Inso is in the ears of the boys right now, telling them, calm down, chill out, hot zone up here. How y'all feeling? Let's jump in.
All right, we have some pretty different strategies. We have the penny coming in for archery. I'm not sure how much value you can find in this situation. It can be great against the lollipop drops if you have a super available, but until you have that, it's pretty hard to hit shots and find a whole lot of value. Mary with a super, gonna be running solo screech as well, and that provides quite a bit of damage if he can line them up nicely. Plusha finds the kill onto Maru, but the problem for TIG is that so far it's been pretty much only Reply Totem in the zone.
Yeah, Reply Totem kind of just fed their front line to TIG Origin, but the entire time, Maori was just dancing on the point. So 40% built up here, and
Acum mă întâlnesc să fac. Ia să dăm dacă câștigăm. Asta da, vă ține. Da, hai, de crește. Crește, crește.
Stay together, this is where it gets problematic. And still 1v1, it's not quite as much value that you can find when you be able to just get
Câștigăm primul bine.
but look at that, Reply Totem.
Asta da, focă e bun.
And Maori is still just vibing in the zone. Will pull eventually, but the damage is done.
Nu,
You need to pull on
nu te cred. Recuperează, dar nu e bine. Așa, crește. Bă, spune. Greșit. Așa, da. Întregi. Bine, bă.
Yeah, we talked about momentum here and how it wasn't necessarily the most convincing. This was a lot better, and I think when it comes down to momentum, the most
Mai
important thing
sunt
is
rând.
from one environment to the other. And when I say environment, I mean game mode, map, whatever you want. They're able to do so right now, and that's when you can start building up, gaining confidence, and getting more and more comfortable. We saw it yesterday as well, you know, with getting more loud as we got further into the match, and how strong that can be against their opponents. Obviously, with the actually not being on site here in the Brawlhouse, or being in our Brawlhouse, I guess. The conditions are a little bit different, and you can't quite intimidate them quite as much, but this still applies for sure, and I feel that we're looking very comfortable in this game.
absolutely, you know, I question if there was momentum from
Ia să ia, băi.
this set, and this game absolutely is where that momentum is going.
Arege mai bine. Așa, da.
But I did see a little bit of, you know, shaking of the mood, so to speak. Now,
Dacă reușești,
Yeah, but what I think is really impressive with Totem is their preparation to those conditions as well, you know? I think they're doing a great job at picking specific colors that fit the situation very well, considering the conditions of this match, and I think the great job
mai să dea așa.
progress and really, really good shots provide a lot of value, easier into shot quick, and it can mitigate some of the other issues, and I think they're doing a terrific job, and that research is paying off so far. Question is, can they make it a second set now, or is CSG going to be able to prevent it?
yeah, TIG right now is deep in the playbook, trying to figure things out. Let's celebrate their gameplay here. Pick up the flank. I think they'll invite me.
Este că veți.
But they go flank and road further following of the defense.
Așa va tine. Asta da echipă. Asta da echipă. Asta e da echipă. Asta da echipă, bă. Dă, bă. Asta da echipă, bă. Bă, stai de argint. Mai cam vinde. Mamă, îmi trece imediat. Trec. Așa, da. Bine.
Yeah, just catching up. They are actually able to overtake the lead, but a double start coming through. Maru double kill follows up, and this is so important here for total 80% security. Arctic back the lead, and TIG, they're not done fighting just yet. They're still pushing forward. They want to possess the but can they place it in time? It goes through, but it doesn't find a connection.
Bine, bine. Încă un pentru ei. Bine, gata. Bine, da. Așa, da, băi.
Yeah, I mean, they're vibing, you know, that's their element. And we have some of those teams that will be very serious about being staged in front of the camera. It's a different thing, right? They have to play that sort of stuff. But then they end up playing and they seem they absolutely shine under those conditions that gain confidence. And I will fine still deal with that in this game. That's the strongest game for me.
Listen, man, esports is about adaptation. You see the be there, and you know you have to adapt to the tanks.
Hai să mai stăm așa. Stăm așa. Frumos. Urmează asta, bă. Opa. Asta da. Asta da, băi. Asta da. Pe bune. Pe bune, bă. Mamă, dacă câștigă.
They make it 3 days in a row, 2 sets. It's starting to be very, very comfortable for them.
Că noi trebuie să dăm, nu uitați de un like acolo, că de abonare dacă sunteți noi. Hai să vedem dacă asta da mapă, e bună mapa asta, bă, nu vine să cred, dar e bună mapa. Merită mult. Hello.
Actually, it's Totem's worst game mode. This year in the BSC, they have had a 0% win rate for monthly finals in Heist. Not ideal. Not ideal. They've only played 6 games, I believe, which is not a whole lot, but they won none of them, which is not the best. So if there is a chance for TIG to shine, this is it.
Hoping for a set 4, TIG Origin. And frankly speaking, me, I just want to see bonus Brawl. Right now, Reply Totem, though, on match set. And doing a good job of keeping TIG Origin locked on their side. So, you know what? They haven't won a Heist set yet. But this would be the stage to do so, huh?
Yeah, certainly. So far, they've gotten so much value off Soy de Breza on the Barley, able to deal a ton of damage on the save. Maru trying to remove some of that utility by destroying the Cactus. from Jason will be able to do so. There is a supply drop from Plasha. The goal here for TIG is to remove as many of those walls as they can, and the problem for them is that they only have the roughs that can do so, and it's not the Brawler with the most destruction. It takes a lot of time to build up.
You get those surprises out of reach, so you can't really back up your team.
Imagine,
Look at that, for the brother still in the same position, still dealing consistent damage, and he's gonna get dropped up now. So
non lo so, io non mi
10% damage that is gonna be so valuable.
Bill, 70 seconds left to play. Very hard to beat. That's where the brother has just been heavily.
Așa, da. Dacă...
This is just an outcome. This is just an absolute outcome here from Applying Totem.
Mă vedeți la unde...
Doing everything to make the difference here. It's going probably around 80% of damage down to all, let's say. But obviously teamwork, right? Your team is otherwise the party is going to get pushed out. But the value is absolutely insane here for Totem. Only 20 seconds left. And at this point, TIG, they need to deal 77 damage, percent damage to take back that lead. And in 10 seconds, that is just physically not possible. Reply Totem about to hit match. They are just one game away from the quarterfinals.
Așa, da, bătrâne. Așa, da.
Sometimes all reliable goes for it. Right? It's up, bar. Right? You don't always have to reinvent the wheel.
Așa, da, bă.
Over the wall, and that body for the
Așa, da, bătrâne. Așa, da, bă. Așa, da. E așa, bine. Hai un pic. Tot cum trebuie, știu că...
He's able to do, and look at that. Talk about teamwork. A perfect split. 33% for all players right there.
Yeah, you love to see it, man. And the thing here as well is, honestly, I think TIG, you can feel the nerves starting to kick in and the pressure, because Barley is not a wild pick for pit stop. It's absolutely standard, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
And not being at all ready to deal with it is a big problem. And it shows just a lack of, I wouldn't say awareness, but just being able to handle all that pressure and be able to think straight in those conditions.
Fundamentals.
Yeah.
You got to be able to deal with Barley on pit stop. It's the fundies, and if you can't handle the fundies, you kind of wind up in a bad spot.
Yeah, the sort of spot where your opponents have a match point in their pocket.
Quite literally.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They need a lot of work. We had some great signs of life, I think, from TIG and Brawl. But after that, it was a lot more quiet. Let's see how this story ends, or if it even does, as TIG versus Reply Totem continues. A match point available for Totem, and we have the tanks coming in as well as the Edgar here for TIG. Jump in from Arshui. It's a great counter against Barley, and so far it's paying off big time.
Because I love this answer to the Barley of the Edgar to jump on top, Buzz, well, to do the same thing, jump on top, and then that opens the door for Jason to just dunk, dunk, dunk his way to the high spots. I love this answer from TIG Origin, and so far, it's worked out. The first ones to strike, 12% for the blue team at the moment. And just like that, Reply Totem are on the back foot. Buzz goes in, Maori's history, and Jason jumps in with Arshui. Pow, pow, pow. 3 players down, and you're at 48% already.
Man, what a team wipe from TIG. I mean, once again, we talked about outcomes, but this is definitely one of those stories. TIG making some great decisions coming into this game. Absolutely what they needed at the most dire time. Reply Totem are in shambles here in this game. The mismove from Plusha is a bit of a lost value. Gonna go for a dash anyways. Finds the kill. Doesn't get traded out just yet. Will eventually. But look at that, Maru just dealing some more damage on that save. Arshui jumping in, still alive, still dealing damage, getting that save down to 36%.
Reply Totem finally on the offensive here. Plus, you're going to jump on in, wins the fight against Maru. Maori is able to answer back, however. That said, Jason climbing the right, Arshui climbing the left. About a third, give or take, left for the box up north. 36 seconds left. Maori with the defensive kill. But here comes Jason all the way in. And can they take it down before he falls? The answer is no, Teddy. But I think it's still too far out of reach for Applied Totem to get this one back.
Yeah, 70% lead with only 20 seconds left. They do manage to take down Plusha. They need some quick kills here, but they can't leave any space. They have to defend at the same time as attack, and this is just not possible at this time. Not enough time left, and TIG are back here with a game secured. However, it's still going to be match point here for Totem.
Listen, man, still match point, and this is a big deal, letting you guys see that they are in their own Brawl House. TIG playing all together, unfortunately not here in our Brawl House, but the fact that they're playing all three together, that does show some of that, that might be why they win this one. Because when you've got your back against the wall like that, a lot of times we see these teams kind of like sneak out one last breath before they fall down. This was an emphatic win. And when you rattled off the stats before, a reminder, Teddy told us that Reply Totem have never won this game mode. And TIG Origin, this is their house. This is their best spot. You know, after that performance, that was as convincing as game one. It was the opposite way convincing for game two. I think we might see a fourth set.
I think it's very likely indeed. I mean, I said it earlier, right? Heist is where TIG stand the highest chance of taking a set. They've shown the signs of life that we needed them to. The question now is, can they commit fully? Can they secure that set that they so desperately want? Knock off those match points out of Totem's hands. It's still going to be tough. Totem are so close, they can taste the quarterfinals, and that is something that TIG need to be worried about. But the signs of life are there, and that's already something to start with.
You know, that's also something that we rarely talk about. We talk a lot about momentum. We talk a lot about getting in your own head when you're down. What about getting in your own head when you're up? Like, all right, boys, put your feet up. We loving the smell out here. Everything's good. Reply Totem to the future. Well, you didn't win yet, dog. Like, you can absolutely get ahead of yourself, and after game number one, they can't beat our barley on pizza. Like, that might have been the case. I need to see some pumping of the brakes here for Reply Totem. A little bit of calm down and reapproach, and look how different this comp is.
Yeah, on paper, this is a great situation for TIG. We'll have to see how they're able to handle this. They should not connect on the safe, unfortunately, that gadget from Breza. But what does connect on the safe is those three players. They did leave the Rico undefended on the top, and that can be a very, very problematic. Rico has a very big damage output so far. The decision has been just slightly in favor of TIG, but Totem are still committing. They are going for that base rush and trying to just out-damage Jason. Jason sees the situation, decides to fall back with his teammates and help defend.
Reply Totem right now with the lead, which wasn't the case for a while. And Jason switched from the Bull onto the Rico. Doesn't matter who he's playing. Maru and Soy sandwich him, and down goes the robot. 46% to 56%. Reply Totem in the lead right now with a $1:20 on the clock. Soy jumps in. Maori from the left-hand side. Maori gets destroyed as quickly as he showed up. But the damage is still ticking away.
Yeah, the value for Maru, man, it's absolutely surreal how much damage he can deal in that position, staying alive for so long as well. Only 23% on TIG safe. If it goes down, it's going to be the end of their journey in this year's BSC. So the Breza goes for the jump in, some extra damage, not all that much, all things considered. But at this point, every single tick of damage matters.
43 seconds. 15% left for Applied Totem to deal with. And TIG Origin have done a good job of digging their heels into the ground. Look at the way they're playing around with the Primo. Maori does punish Jason right on back. Maury can't get in there. classic barley play. And now we're counting down from 23 seconds.
Oh, huge kill.
TIG Origin can't hold on. That's it, boys. Reply Totem looking clean and taking it. Victory to the Italians.
There were a couple of rocky games, especially early on, but Totem have made it through the round of 16. Will be moving on to the quarterfinals tomorrow. Great performance on their side. Happy celebrations as well.
Hey.
And Coach Enzo joining up to congratulate his teammates. Great stuff from Totem. TIG gonna be disappointed with their performance, but I think they can be proud. They showed some really great signs of life here, and we're just never able to get the momentum rolling and winning multiple games in a row.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we saw them. We absolutely saw them play well when they knew what they were able to handle. But Reply Totem, I think, were just a couple of degrees too hot. The M&M boys here, Maori and Maru, really combined to let Soy do whatever he wants to do. Debreza really just, he wanted to, the strategy of this team really seems to be Maori and Maru do the heavy lifting to open the door for Soy Debreza to be the objective guy. Whatever mode, whatever map, he's the one able to kind of find those positions. And so you truly do love to see it here. Look at the tank stats. You know, 0.5 KDA, not great damage or whatever, but hey, I'm bull, dude. All I have to do is chunk, chunk, chunk.
Exactly. I mean, for those tanks, just existing is enough pressure to help your teammates gain some of that control and get to the save. Great stuff from Totem overall. I think one of the brawlers that impressed me the most in this match so far was the Ems. So much value found by Ems. We are in the Brawl house here as well. We see everyone in the lounge congratulating the players for their victory, a well-deserved one as well, as they end up taking TIG down with a 3-0 scoreline.
Yeah, I think that's the most fun about being here at the Brawl House, is seeing all the players just chilling, vibing, hanging out. Most valuable player going to Maori. Number one, he says up there, and number one, he is for sure. Of course, MVP given to us by y'all at home. Event.brawlstars.com. Get yourself in the know. And one of the fun things here is, you know, you earn points for correct predictions. You just earn points for voting in the MVP. When it comes down to it, whoever you think was the best player on stage goes for it. For me, I absolutely no shade to the MVP. I liked Soy. I think Debreza really came through and did what the team needed him to do. But again, this was one of the most holistic, like all three players combining performances that we've seen so far, I think.
I think so too. It was very much a team effort. I think they took a lot of great decisions in comps, but even execution was very, very clean. I mean, they dropped 2 games, I believe, in total in a best of 5. Clean. That's a great performance. You're happy with that, man. They absolutely are, and they are going to be prepping for their match of tomorrow, I am sure. Man, I'm excited to see some more Brawl Stars today. This gave me a really good pre-taste of what's coming next.
Well, we have 3 more matches today. Coming up next, STMN going up against Team Flash. We'll be back in a flash right after this. Welcome back to the Brawl House, folks. It's F. Dot and your boy Ark here, chilling out, hanging in. Shout out to everybody out there in Chatland, and also my man Reddy, who absolutely loves human genes. So that intro reel, always his favorite. But Ark, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Had a great sleep. It was a long day yesterday, and today is like going at such a great pace. I'm really enjoying it. Some fantastic games. I can't wait for what's to come, man.
Yeah, it's been super cool. Reply Totem just coming out and just handling TIG Origin. They were able to make a little bit of noise, but ultimately the 3-0 clean sweep coming out from the Italian squad. And so coming up next, they will be finding who they're playing up against, and it'll be the winner of this match, STMN Esports or Team Flash.
Yeah, honestly, this one is, this is a tough one for my predictions, but good news, I got one with Reply Totem, so I'm doing far better than yesterday already. STMN, of course, from North America, and LATAM North Team Flash, of course, from the SESA and ANZ region, and the current world champions, the 2020 Brawl Stars world champions. They lifted the trophy last year, so they know what holding that gold feels like.
Just a reminder, we're still in best of 5 world. The beginning of tomorrow will also be there, but when we get to the finals, it is a BO7, baby. All stops are out to see who the best brawler is. And so, working our way through the round of 16 as we find ourselves entering into the quarterfinals. Like we said, STMN are the squad that are going up against the former world champions. And whoever wind up being the world champions this time around take home a clean 400K.
Yeah, that's not too shabby, is it, realistically?
Not bad at all, dude.
Not too bad.
Not bad at all. I was joking with Teddy. I was like, "Hey, man, do you wanna make a team?" He was like, "Yes, not with you." And I was like, "Oh man, that hurt."
Cuts deep. Yeah, that cuts deep.
He's probably right though.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Event.brawlstars.com. If you aren't playing, you can still get involved in the games. Let us know your predictions. Get involved with a whole bunch of ways to get points and pins. And also there's a button you can spam.
Yep.
That's my
for cheering.
favorite.
Yep.
Just spam
and
the button.
just don't listen to any of my advice on Twitter because yesterday was a bad day. Not a single one correct, but today could be looking better.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, brand new day, new sunrise, you know,
Yep.
new ideas on the board. Stamina, this organization, North American players organization out of Mexico. This is a strong team. Bobby, OG, and the guys, you know them from the world of like content creation, but what do they look like on the field? Let's find out.
Team Flash taking first place. STMN taking the victory.
I'm confident because we have me, but we also have really good team synergy. We've been playing amazing in the last month or so, and I think we're on a really good roll.
Bobby as well has his ball. Here comes the dribble. What did I just watch?
We've discovered that the meta is very, very different from our region. There are certain things that we do better and certain things that they do better. We're the current world champions and we hold the world trophy. To all the other teams, good luck trying to take it.
Team Flash back-to-back champions.
All right, y'all, you know how I feel about swagger and that sort of thing. So when you say we had the trophy, come and take it, yeah, that's my song and dance. That's my volume. I'm seeing you, Flash. And I think that might be my, sorry guys, my new favorite team.
Honestly, I feel like this is going to be an absolute banger of a match, I've got to say. I mean, for STMN, it's third time lucky. You know, they missed out in 2020, they missed out in 2019. This is their moment to shine on the world stage. And I mean, they've got a fantastic opposition.
Absolutely. Nuts and bolts is where we're going to be starting things off today. And an interesting one for sure. When it comes down to nuts and bolts, like we said, you know, or like I always say, I find Siege to be a little bit more of the X's and O's, a little bit more strategic than some of the other game modes. We'll hit Hot Potato and Layer Cake as well, and Pinball Dreams Ring of Fire if we need it. And I think we might need it. Bands, though, we don't have a single Lola band. Last time we had 2.
Yeah, I mean, and that's surprising for me, I've got to say. I mean, we saw a lot of Lola yesterday, far more than I was actually expecting to see. And we can just see how suppressive she is in that same respect. So Sandy and Meg. Meg is actually a brawler which I feel is being underbanned, actually. So I'm pleased to see Meg being banned. Another brawler which can have a big impact on the outcome. Stu and Spike then as well. Spike is actually kind of an interesting one. A brawler you just don't tend to see that much, but you tend to see a great deal in terms of play rates.
Yeah, Spike is one of those characters like Byron, who like always sit right under the ban line. Flash say no, and I think that's a little bit of insight. You heard Flash talk about how vastly different the meta is from what they're used to at home, and I think that's what it is. When you look towards the rest of the world, Spike is a staple that really ties the room together, and what if we just take it away?
Yeah, and, that's a brawler which OG loves to play as well, by the way, on STMN. So
Yes.
it's going to be very interesting to see how they adapt. I've got to say as well, looking back through my stats as I was getting all prepared, this is a great game mode for Team Flash. They've got a 76% win rate on Siege, 16 wins to 5 losses. On the side of STMN, they've got a 37% win rate. That's not great. 7 wins, 12 losses. So this should be, realistically, a great chance for Team Flash to get an early lead.
And right now, Team Flash have gotten an early lead. Grab a couple of the first bolts up for the taking. Able to maintain mid-control. Level 3 bot, not really that concerned, although not a lot of damage coming this way. Response is able to take down Bobby, and so we will see some damage onto the Ike right away. And more so than I was expecting. Almost a quarter done by Team Flash in round 1.
I've got to say, I do love the Team Flash comp. I've been running it myself, a lot of Griff combined with Lola, and it is a fierce thing to go up against. And already you can look at how Response is utilizing that gadget so successfully well there to gain that mid-control. Bolts-wise, there's only 2 in it, and a chance for STMN down to push falls and gain some.
So what makes the Lola Griff combo so deadly in your eyes?
You can just use the Griff gadget to go straight in with the piggy bank, break open the map, and that's where Lola thrives, having space to utilize and really keep everyone back in that spawn area.
Well, I'm going to ask you for the lottery numbers because exactly what you said earlier is happening right now. Team Flash is keeping stamina under the thumb. 100. Good play by the Sprout there to cause this bot going left to right, left to right. Oh, and again! 1, 2, 3. That is why Sprout's my favorite brawler.
Yeah, we saw
No other
Brawl
character.
today again in Siege, absolutely. And yeah, OJ, you really utilizing that transplant gadget super well for good Valiant defense, but they do need to establish mid-control. I want to see a bit more stunning from Bobby there. He gets stunned himself by Cypher, and a nice takedown mid-control at the moment, all with Team Flash, and surely a third and final push on the is inbound.
Real talk, I think Stamina, I'm going to say, have gotten 1 kill, but I don't think they've gotten any.
It's definitely been a struggle. I mean, Sprout has got like a little bit low sort of damage, and that's it's great for defense with the wall as we see again going to be going down. But yeah, Bobby realistically not getting the value that he wanted. And Scythe really is with that stun there. The bot going to come in and finish the deal. But yeah, not around for STMN. They're going to have to rethink things a little bit through regarding the next game.
Team Flash certainly looking like last year's world champions. This year's perhaps, but certainly a lot more Brawl Stars to be played. Right now, though, that was a devastating loss. The Stamina guys talking it over here as they're trying to figure out what went wrong. And straight up and down, I'll tell you what went wrong. Just they couldn't win the fights. Flash won every single fight, maintained mid-control. It didn't even look like there was a hard-fought strat to maintain mid. They just beat them.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be running Griff and Lola, you've got so much range as well. And it also takes away so much of the cover that it kind of eradicates the effectiveness of some of the other throwers that could be used on this map. I mean, we see Sprout as being a great brawler for defense, but Barley would be a great one as well for a bit more offensive control.
Yeah.
I think realistically, for me, STMN are going to have to match this similar idea. With Lola in play, being in such a great spot, I think you've got to at least consider bringing in her with some kind of wall breaker. And for me, Griff is a great one, but there are definitely a few others which could be catered towards STMN's playstyle.
Confirm or deny, not banning Lola was a mistake.
Oh, that's a tough one, because it really depends on your strategy going in, and sometimes, leaving a brawler open, it could be a trap. It really could be something that you're expecting your opposition to walk into, and then, take them by surprise and give them the ambush. I think that for sure, if it's not banned for me, I would personally choose to play it, and in a map like this, it's just about kind of deciding what you're going to be pairing that up with. I think she's got some great utility, especially if you get that first push. You can really keep your opposition back in that spawn, throw your gadget forwards, and have the clone do all the work.
My man over here, Flash. Just getting in news here that Game 1 is going to be remade. The STMN guys have had a conversation. For what it's worth, we have looked at some of the things happening from yesterday, so a little bit more stringent rules around that. Still getting a remake, and so absolutely something to be looking here towards, and Stamina going to get a second shot at this one, and OG feels good about that.
Yeah, I mean, when the camera came off, I definitely looked like they were taking what was only the first game of defeats, quite hard on themselves. So that explains that one, and we'll look to rectify that as soon as possible in the stage side of things. But again, just to run back through, how STMN have been performing throughout the course of this year. 5 grand final appearances, 2 monthly final wins is a pretty decent amount of consistency in North America and LATAM North as the number 2 seed in the region, obviously just shyly behind Tribe Gaming NA.
And that's the thing there, is that you always have to put it in a context. Listen, when we look at Zeta, formerly Jupiter, yeah, you run the table, there it is, thumbs up, you never leave. But when you come down to the North American region, there's a fair amount of talent in there that you have to compete with. And so when you look at STMN and you look at their numbers, you have to take into account that yeah, you got Corey and Zulon in the same room trying to do the same thing. And so that's going to alter how successful you can be for sure.
Yeah, absolutely that. And on the other side of things, Team Flash, as we saw, a really fantastic start. They've clearly, and I've got to be honest, in the dressing room, I was overhearing a couple of things that they're definitely very confident here today.
Yes.
They've got a lot of preparation, they've got a plan, and they did seem to like the way that things were going. They've had 8 grand final appearances this year, 5 monthly final wins. So statistically, they are kind of the favorite here as the current world champions.
Back into it here. Players do have to play exactly what they were doing, and so you still see the Sprout and the Buzz, and honestly, you still see Team Flash looking for mid-control, but it's STMN that are the first ones to grab the bot. Much different outcome this time, as the bot is already 33% dead before it crosses the line, and 4% done for the blue team.
Yeah, but I like the difference in the way that STMN approached this game. They really valued obtaining that first round. They kept the Buzz really low. Now Scytho has got that super, as has Bobby, and Bobby's being very patient around it. More often than not, if you're able to wait out the Buzz super and then time it correctly, then even if your opposition goes first, you can actually get the advantage. Bobby going to go in, though, and surprise attack back in return, though, from Scythe. Bobby, oh my word, staying alive as well. 274 HP.
The use of the pillar right there. Hit him to the left, slide to the right. Hitting him with the Cupid Shuffle. Bobby looking clean so far. And that 2v1 confirms a second bot for STMN. Level 8 this time around. Less damage dealt by Team Flash. Barley locked out, but able to deal some damage. And just like that, 61% remains for Team Flash's Ike.
This is looking far, far better. Look at the pressure from OG there and the takedown there on CZK. Response though with a really impressive left-hand side lane control. Bobby all over, goes in for the smash on the side, leaving himself and Zara on the right-hand side to collect the bolts. And they've got a decent lead. 15 seconds though until the final siege. There is still time here for Team Flash to make a turnaround.
Oh, the combination damage on CZK. And OG takes down Scythe. Response is locked there on the left side. Whether he's alive or dead, well, now dead. Effectively dead because of the zoning from the Barley AoE. The guys are barking. They know how they feel about this one. No time left. Team Flash are going to look at game 1 fall through their fingers. And the Stamina guys are loud.
Yeah, I mean, it was a completely different team. It really was. So clearly those technical issues for them looking far, far better now. They really value that first bolt. Getting the lead is so important because if you don't have that first push, the Griff on the side of the pig bank and the Gadget can just open things up at their will. That was the thing which just kept Team Flash just retained in that respect.
Some of the highlights coming at you, that was the absolute highlight for me. Bobby taking the 1v2. I thought this was going to be a moment where Response was going to be able to push in and kind of take advantage of the attention to the right lane that STMN were giving. But instead, Stamina finished the fight on the right real quick and locked Response out like he was in curfew.
Yeah, bringing in the Barley as well is a difficult one to call, really, because ultimately, if you lose that mid-control, then you're going to have less places that you can effectively hide behind to try to re-establish that control, but it does work really, really nicely, even with a Sprout, because they're kind of expecting that to be had on the other side of the field as a pretty decent option when it comes to their defense. So I do like the Barley pick, but it is a risky one, it's got to be said.
Do you want to see a change here from Team Flash, or same thing that they did before?
They're going to bring out Lola and the Bell, and I think the Bell for me is a great shout here, honestly. I mean, you know, especially with Team Flash breaking open the map, not to mention the fact that that mark from her super is going to make sure that the bot goes down even faster. You got the Primo there as well, which I think is going to be shredded with the Lola. I think, honestly, STMN have got a great chance with this comp.
Yeah, I think STMN read what Team Flash was going to do, and if you're new to the Brawl scene, it's blind pick, which I think is so much fun because there's a lot of mind games that go in. Bot walking downtown, Stamina able to do a little bit more damage this time around. They get a quarter and run with it. Folks, they almost grab a half of the Ike in the first push.
Great connection there from Zala. Follow-up as well, spot on, but Scythe is lurking on this right-hand side. He's got that super to hand. Bobby, though, gets some hits, and the actual knockback is perfect for him and gets a favorable transaction, whilst OG holding that mid really, really nicely against response. CZR coming in there with a piggyback to break open that top side of the map to give themselves a bit of space to maneuver, but at the moment, STMN are playing so well.
The stun out of, it's so important. That moment of action, so important. And again, mid control confirmed by the blue team. The North American squad have their second bot coming here. Level 9, Jar takes down Scythe. Only 2 players to play defense. Walking in, and the Ike is falling. And just like that, Team Flash, watch Stamina take set 1.
Very, very nicely done. That Ike got absolutely shredded, and especially when I was saying back to the previous stats for STMN on Siege being only 37% as a win rate, literally their worst mode.
Yeah.
That was dominant. That was very dominant.
Complete dominance coming out from STMN. Let's roll back the clock and take a look at how this one went, because again, this really came down to, I thought the Primo was a nice shot, and STMN predicted it. It's like they read the playbook.
Yeah, they've clearly come well prepared, and it shows. I mean, look at that. This is why Lola is so dangerous there, with a freeze frame gadget there to make sure that OG was able to stay behind that with some protective fire, and there's some fist bumps, a bit more positivity and life coming from STMN after that rocky start.
You know, I think this is one of the fun things about esports. STMN, 3 wildly different visual people, right? And able to come through and just be a lights-out team here. Moving on to Mortis's Mortuary now. How are your feelings about this this fun spot?
Again, I mean, this is, on paper at least, a game mode which does favor Team Flash. Now, the way that Hot Potatoes kind of evolved has definitely changed a lot this season. You know, it was very much a Rico mid or side lane affair, but that's kind of all been shaken up. Personally here, I really like the Edgar. It's a great brawler to have to be able to counter various throwers or the Rico should it still come around, but Griff is starting to come in with this kind of strange meta now, with sometimes Colonel Ruffs coming in and the wall breakers just breaking everything open. I've even seen Sandy played in Hot Potatoes sometimes, which is a mad one, but not going to be seen here banned out. But there is the Edgar, Lola for the mid. This I like to see. The Byron, though, is an interesting choice from Team Flash, definitely more survivability, but you've got to land those hills.
Yeah, Byron is a really clean go-to character for a lot of teams here at the Brawl Stars World Finals. For good reason. I think he's a very well balanced character. Not with respect to the game, although yeah, sure, but more in the sense that he can provide some offense, he can provide some defense. He really brings you whatever it is that you need. Right now, Team Flash need a little bit in the defensive end because Bobby and OG are leading the charge, chunking away. 14% done to the heist box already.
Team Flash with a pretty decent defense in all honesty and holding their own. Those rough sandbags coming into play, and Zara throws down the supply drop for Bobby to pick up and shows his gratitude with a nice little pin drop. But again, at the moment, Team Flash are holding their own and pushing forward just very slowly but surely. Scythe has super to hand as well, and he'll be looking for the perfect time to use that.
And everyone on the blue team is staring at Scythe. Look at even how the left lane has shifted over to mid, and that's how quickly it is. The target prioritization of the Edgar. Oh, I'm getting excited, Ark. That's the micro that I love to see.
I love that play from Bobby. So simple. Just make the aggressive play and just deflate a lot of that aggression from that right-hand side lane and flip the reversal. And now it's Team Flash back on the defense when they had a great opportunity to push forward. STMN kept the pressure. And look at Bobby cycling so well. OG behind. Oh, my word. Team Flash are in trouble yet again.
And look, that's best. That is almost best case scenario for Scythe, and they still lose a ton of damage onto the safe. You know, That is a big, big deal. STMN have figured out this composition. They know how to play it. Team Flash in the driver's seat for the first time, though. They got half a minute left. Mathematically, they can get their way back into it, but it's going to be a tough one.
The problem now is that they've fallen so far behind, and they've got to keep back Bobby, who could have just gone in the safe there. ZZK just doing a great job of keeping him back, but they would really have liked to push that more aggressively. Cypher's ready, as was responsible. They had to hold back Bobby, and there you go, the team wipe. What was that? Bobby going in with a final hit as well. Woo! This one is going to be all over. No way can Team Flash come back from this in time.
Bro, the communication here is on fire. That's what I like to see. So as we said, I'm sure we're going to get a chance to see the replay. I love how locked in OG is. He's like, all right, next game. But the counterweight of Bobby going in when Scythe was coming in and the snap onto the assassin of the backline. Walk us through it.
It was beautiful, honestly. I mean, again, sometimes a strong offense is the best form of defense, and just kind of left Team Flash with nowhere to go. With a comp like this, with Buzz and Lola, you can really tear up a safe, and the Ruffs was a great idea as well to have a little bit of defensive capabilities, but everyone there you can just see working so harmoniously well together, and SCMN are looking like a complete unit.
And so that call, the Edgar call, is a call that has to happen before it happens. What's going on there is everybody's looking at Edgar on the right, in the right lane, and they're saying, watch out for Edgar, and Bobby goes, okay, I'm gonna go in, that torts Edgar, maybe I should play defense? No, I'll go in. And because you already made the watch out for Edgar call, when he jumps in, they're able to annihilate him so quick. That communication is the difference between teams at this level.
Let me ask you a question. What was your prediction for this match?
STMN.
Mine too.
There it is. That said, there is a lot of Brawl Stars to be played.
Absolutely.
I am not singing just yet. We do not know. But I have had so much faith in this team, looking at their ascent throughout the years. And I mean, that's also the thing is that, you know, OG and Bobby, they've been playing since the beginning, before the BSC.
Absolutely.
And that sort of veterancy absolutely matters. We'll see if they can close out this set to make it a 2-0. Team Flash in a much better position, though, already.
I think they've chosen the Barley pick at a wise time. STMN have not got the Eggers, so the controlling factor which they were lacking in the last game could well be coming into play. Bazaar will be running air superiority, I imagine, so able to break up some of that cover accordingly to try to eradicate it. But look at this, already we've just started and Team Flash have got more damage than they had in the entirety of the last game.
Yeah, this was a big adaptation coming out from the Red Squad. Love what they were able to do. But can they continue it post-respawns is the question. Bobby jumps to the left side, and that's was the answer that we had from STMN last time, but now it's on Team Flash. Their target acquisition, very quick. And so that play last game won STMN a whole push. This time, neutralized by Team Flash.
Yeah, clearly Team Flash are starting to locate Bobby as being a threat, but he's going on a bit of a tear here, and CZK is the next one down, goes down, Bobby holding back on the swim, and now goes in for the switch. That's a wipe for Bobby, are you serious?
Again? You can do that once per set, sir. Bobby said, no thank you, I'll have seconds, and gets another 2v1, which opens the door and is now more than tied the game for STMN. They've gotten it and ran with it. Bobby takes one. Bobby takes two with the help of OG. And Jar and OG pumping damage into it. 31% left for the red heist safe.
The map is so open now, it's going to eradicate what CZK can do about this, and that's a bad thing for them. Scythe coming in now, there is still a little bit of time. If Team Flash can just regain some of this composure, but STMN just keep the pressure on. They're positioning on the right-hand side in a good place as well. OG able to spray through the bushes. They've done so much work, but can Team Flash get a turnaround?
It's going to be tough. Going to be tough. Kobe on the clock. And Bobby leading the charge one more time. Pull in, down he goes. Bobby runs back, Scythe jumps in, OG gets the turnaround. And I gotta say, that's all she wrote. Stamina took set one, they took set two, and now we move on to the third.
Oh my word. The players are going crazy behind me at the moment, and STMN are feeling very good about this one. Again, when we came on live, I said this was the STMN were looking for a third time lucky, and this could be their opportunity right here. They seem in control, but Bounty is a very different game mode. They've got to be very cautious if they want to continue this kind of success.
See, here's the thing. I don't have the stats, but STMN always impressed me on Bounty. Piper on this team is one of their go-to characters. The sharpshooters in general, which is generally the meta that we see in Bounty, really, really clean for them. But again, this whole set was Bobby.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the team wipe, you don't tend to see that much in all honesty on Hot Potato. It's literally the map that's most designed to be split left, right, and mid.
Yeah.
And yet, it just seemed like he was so in control of his positioning.
I mean, Bobby here, not a phrase we use often in Brawl Stars. Bobby was playing entry fragger, right? He was kicking the door open and just being like, boom, I'm here. You have to deal with me. And Team Flash was trying to deal, but the problem is, Bobby has two teammates. You remember that? So they were able to just shoot from beyond and get it done. And here, this is momentum. Listen, Ark and I told you our predictions that we had STMN here. I think we are overwhelmingly in the minority. Flash is last year's world champs, and they might get knocked out in the round of 16.
I mean, isn't that like the ultimate bragging rights to be able to say that you took down last year's world champions in the first stage of the competition? I mean,
Yes.
that's a scary prospect. I mean, the thing here that I think the Team Flash have got to go in with is a solid strategy. I like the fact that STMN have actually dropped the bus because I think it's a great brawler to have on Layer Cake. In all honesty, Bobby going back to the G, which we know he knows and loves. Zar on the max, which we know he can do very, very successfully well. OG on the roughs, probably not where he wants to be. He likes the spike, but ultimately he's making it work.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I didn't take the map into account when I was bringing up the sharpshooters, so I like the change of approach here from STMN, knowing how much just blockade is in the way for those long-range shots. At the moment, STMN have the blue star, but Team Flash are squashing and crunching. Are they going to get punished? Jar says yes, and the immediate retreat from Team Flash.
ZZK is playing Rosa. That is the most important brawler, in my opinion, in this comp. To get that spawn trap pinch, they've got to time that right, and he's a fundamental component in succeeding in that approach. If they can make this work, though, there's a lot of stars to gain. A team wipe here is going to give a favorable sum of stars over to Team Flash, but they've got to be communicating a little bit more effectively, gaining more survivability to pull it off.
This is a scary strat to work with a lot of times. You're going to group up in Bounty. Isn't that like the opposite of what you want to do? But when you have the level of communication that STMN has kind of showed us so far, you can group up, spread out, group up and spread out, like the hokey pokey, if you will. You want to talk about taking 1 foot in, Team Flash are 2 feet in, going all the way for, no, okay, all right. It was bait. It was bait. Now they're coming all the way in here. Right-hand side doubling up. Where is CZK going? Get over here. Down he goes to the hand of Jar. 7 seconds left, and it's 5 stars. Team Flash are retreating, and STMN are 1 game away from clean sweeping last year's world champions.
They look so calm, so composed. I mean, like, towards the end of that, their team pool here, Team Flash's was all over the place. They had, Team Flash, in my opinion, had a fantastic comp to go around that situation.
I agree.
But STMN played it calm and collectedly. OG just bringing in those supply drops, keeping everyone buffed up and, you know, staying on their feet. Most importantly, the sandbags as well for the defense. Everything was just on point. They had no rush. They had the early lead, and it just goes to show how important that can be in a map like Layer Cake.
Yeah, listen, I need to stress how on point Team Flash's composition was, how great their approach was, the idea to spawn trap, the idea to come in, no just kidding, come in, no just kidding, all right, now we're going. The timing was perfect. Like, this is a fantastic team. I think almost virtually any other squad might have fallen down there. You know, really fun stuff. And right now, all 3 players on STMN are putting up the big stuff. Event.brawlstars.com. You can vote for your MVP if you think they're killing it. You can spam the chat. You can watch the game just hanging out, logged in. So, like, real cool stuff going on event.brawlstars.com. And you're an in-game collector. Some exclusive stuff there, too.
Oh, and I'm kind of worried about that fact because I need to get my hands on those pins. I mean, that's the problem that I've got now is I'm so far behind. I'm playing catch up.
Guys,
and,
Ark literally has his phone at the caster desk, and he's pushing the buttons as we're casting. I'm not even kidding, man. Like, this is what the Brawl House is about.
Exactly.
Everyone here, we're hanging out with Avali in the green room. She's playing Brawl Stars. You know, like, we're all just kind of all in. There's a big community feeling here, and STMN trying to bring that community to contest as they have Team Flash with their backs against the wall. Composition here a little bit different this time around with Tick coming out for Jar.
Yeah, Team Flash have got to establish more control, and they went for the tick themselves. It just so happened that STMN came in with the same idea at the same time. I like the Sprout pick as well here, good for control. And Team Flash have clearly put a lot of thought into this because when the camera was panning past them, they were looking pretty shook. They've got to start to tie things up a little bit more than they have been because, at the moment, they haven't got a single game under their belt.
A very active bounty game here. 6 kills, or 6 stars rather, for stamina. 5 for Team Flash. They do have the blue star, but that only matters should we find ourselves tied up, which we don't. And with a minute to go, it's anybody's game.
It is such a close game. The blue star in favor then of Team Flash. That is a factor here, but the lead, though, is still with STMN. So they do have to go on the aggressive, but they've got to be patient around doing so. The Byron is a great thing to have when you want to go on that kind of push. And with a tick, you've got a lot of healing qualities in regards to your star power anyway. So you can keep pushing forwards. OG there, realistically looking for the freeze frame or something to be able to push forwards with the clone. Just to gain some shots. So at the same time, Team Flash are being very cautious around that. Outraging him where possible because they do not want to feed OG.
Scary stuff. Nobody wants to feed OG. Bobby, he's waiting here for the opportunity, and CZK is actually going to answer back. So with dwindling seconds to go, Team Flash able to take the lead, but a single kill on anyone. Actually, if they tie it, they still lose because of blue. Scythe gets the kill on a Bobby, but OG answers back. 15 is enough. And just like that, Team Flash say, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not surrender without a fight.
Perfection. About time, Team Flash getting some momentum here, but is it too little too late? They've got to really come together now and think this one through. They've got a good, healthy start at just the right time, realistically. They're going to have to think this next come through equally with as much care. They are still under match point. It is not over yet. They've got to get through Bounty to have any chance of holding on in this competition.
We're going to take a look at the last game, but I want to remind you guys about last night at that SK matchup where they looked real clean for the first 2 games, and then all of a sudden Tribe came and went, hey, remember who we are. So right now, STMN looked real clean for the first 2 games. Is this the beginning? I mean, you can't call it a comeback just yet, but is this the beginning of that?
It's very reminiscent, isn't it? I mean, it really is. Team Flash can just hold on to what they did right and just keep that idea within their minds of, again, where that trophy currently sits is in their cabinet. So they've been under these kind of pressurized circumstances before, but never really, across physically from their opposition. So they've got to start to be maybe more vocal. They're quite a reserve team anyway, which is not a problem at all. I actually quite like that.
Yeah.
It's a very modest approach, but I definitely feel like they've got to now come together more than they have been and start to be a bit more communicative around their approach.
Absolutely. No, I mean, going back to what you... Oh, time's up. Bobby says time's up. You don't get the watch on, man. Though. You got to flex with the watch. You're taking home potentially $400,000. Listen, if they win and he doesn't show up with a watch next year, I'm going to bargain. But Bobby's feeling good about things. But you were talking about the composure of Team Flash, and I think that's really, really cool specifically about World Finals, is that you have so many different cultures colliding, so many different approaches to the game. There is no right way to play. The only right thing to do in Brawl Stars is win.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Bros are coming in. Team Flash going to try that former idea, but play it better. But the max is on the side of STMN as well, so they're just leaving Scythe. Why not? He's trying to get him in the corner of their own spawn, and STMN are just going straight forwards aggressively, and I don't know whether it's going to pay off. Down there goes another, well, Scythe goes down himself, but Response hanging on, but Bobby gets the takedown.
Objectively, a bad play by Stamina. They spread out, split up, but, like the end of a good Scooby-Doo show, they still brought it back together. Can they take the mask off of Team Flash is the question. Secretly, I'm Bonus Pro.
I do too.
I want to see a long set with these teams. But Bobby and OG and Jar, I don't know if they're feeling the same way. 9-5 with 60 seconds left. Team Flash surging forward.
Oh, STMN there was so aware of their positioning. The knockback as well. And the pulls on point. Side goes down. And again, targeting the Rosa is the right approach here. They've got to eradicate her, and then they can take back mid-control, which they've done beautifully with a 6-star lead and that blue star now in their favor.
Positioning is the word. They know exactly how close they can be to strike, exactly how far they can be to run away, and bad luck 13, that's a baker's dozen. All good luck for STMN at the moment. Again, counting it down. Kobe on the clock. The defending world champions might not make it out alive. Arc, can they fight back? STMN look like they're shaking their head no.
One final push is all that is left for Team Flash. Can they get the team wipe? And is there even enough stars? If they do, the pilot's there.
That's it.
Oh my word, the wipe is there. STMN have done it. Team Flash lifted the trophy last year. They will not be lifting it this year.
Hasta luego, my friend. There it is. STMN move on from the round of 16 in an emphatic matchup, only giving a single game to Team Flash.
Oh my word, what have we just witnessed again? You just never know what is going to happen next in the Brawl Stars World Finals, and STMN are over the moon. They are through to the quarterfinals. It is such
Always want to see what I want to see. I want to see something different all the time. Much love and much respect to Team Flash, who won't be moving on. Y'all got your stage last time around. Show me something new. Continue to move things forward. That's the style here. Let's take a look, well, backwards, at our highlights from this last set, because this was a barn burner.
Oh, honestly, I mean, when we had the buzz, I was surprised to not see it come back around in Bounty, because that was realistically what STMN were utilizing so well. I mean, they just played every comp perfectly, but they planned quite carefully every comp as well.
Yes.
Team Flash had some great moments as well, and had similar ideas along the way, but they just were not able to display it and control it as well as STMN.
That was the thing. Control and the preparation. The five hands were on display here from STMN. We saw a couple of matchups last set, and even yesterday, where you just got out-brawled. You just got outbeat. That's not what happened here. STMN used their playbook, executed a strategy that they planned on. Sometimes they even planned on what the opponent was planning on and fought it back. So much fun to watch. I'm sure y'all can hear him. I think that's
something that's Clash chanting. We had that last year as well. Very vocal. Again, the energy in the Brawl House is just so electrifying.
Yeah. Wild out here. And you know, what I keep saying is that, like, on the battlefield, it's all mean green and, like, gotta win. But once they're gone, they walk back into that Brawl. We still have a lot of fun Brawl Stars on the way. 2 more matches coming at you. I think we might turn the TV on. We'll be back after this.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Brawl Stars World Finals for 2021. I'm Uber. I'm in a damn TV. I'm here with Teddy, who's got his pin-looking flyer, my guy. Good to be back with you here, and we are almost done with our round of 16, but every one of these games has been ridiculous.
Man, this has been so exciting already. I mean, Team Flash and STMN, what a match that was. STMN looking deadly today, absolutely deadly. Looking forward to see how they compete in the quarterfinals, man.
Yeah, I think that game was indicative to me of just how much Brawl changes year to year. Like, we were expecting, I think, a lot from our last year's world champions, and STMN have had their own set of troubles and struggles in the NA and LATAM North region this year, right? They didn't come out as the #1 seed, but they looked absolutely frightening, and that match against Reply Totem is really promising to be an incredible quarterfinal. But Teddy, yesterday, you know, obviously spirits for EMEA were a little low, you know, a little down in the dumps after many of your teams going up against some stiff opposition. Today, Reply Totem made it through to the quarterfinals, and now this next matchup I know is one close to your heart. AC Milan clash. Comfortably the #2 team in EMEA go up against the Kings of China in Nova China.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there are a lot of love and hate stories in the BSC this year. Teddy and Clash is definitely among the love story side of things. Obviously, incredibly
where you were going
here.
with that, Teddy.
No, absolute love, absolute love. The thing is, Nova Esports have impressed us as well. You know, they've shown us a lot of great stuff this year, especially winning 8